Good evening, everybody. My name is Alex Wilson. I am our new athletic director here at Homedale High School. Thank you for meeting with us tonight as we introduce and go over our high school's code of conduct. We will begin with a short introduction of why this code is needed, then move on to separate groups that this code of conduct affects. Please make sure you pay attention to each group, each slide, as this code brings all of us in together, working to keep our standards and expectations high for our athletic program here at Homedale High School. Following my presentation, we will dismiss you to your various fall sport head coaches for further information and gathering of paperwork. Why do we need a code of conduct to begin with? I'm reminded of when I was a kid. Now remember, I'm an English teacher, so I've always loved reading books and watching TV shows, movies, imagining about old knights and cowboys. They were my favorites. Both of these characters lived by a code. Knights had chivalry that taught them to live an honorable life, how to act, and cowboys had the code of the West to live by to help them survive and how to grow from their experiences. We have a need for a similar code today, something to guide us and direct us as student athletes, fans, coaches, and all those involved in sports here at Homedale High School. To begin with, a code of conduct contains the guidelines and rules to ensure proper order. All of those that walk through the doors here at Homedale High School, attend our games, and support our school functions need to know what the expectations and guidelines are for those functions and events. This athletic code of conduct essentially showcases Homedale's philosophy, vision, and expectation of all of our stakeholders and everybody involved. A part of Homedale High School's vision has always been to equip students with the skills necessary to achieve those dreams. Our code of conduct will allow us as administrators and coaches to equip them, our student athletes, with the expectations of a successful athlete on and off the court, as well as to make sure that all those involved in our athletic program hold each other to a high standard of excellence throughout all of our programs. This code was constructed from values and principles of respect, responsibility, duty, and citizenship. It applies to all of our sports and activities associated with Homedale High School and the IDHSAA. The following code of conduct will be strictly enforced. This code has to start with our players. All student athletes at HHS will accept the responsibility to do the following. Number one, be a good student. This begins with eligibility. Athletes will remain academically eligible, attend class, and inform teachers of sport absences because of competitions. This is our top priority, ladies and gentlemen, as administrators and coaches, is that the athletes are students first. They must know this, and we must reinforce it for them. Along with attending all classes and staying academically eligible, athletes must attend practices and workouts in order to be eligible for competitions. Be committed and become reliable to your team and coach throughout your season. Next, athletes must be responsible. You are busy, and we understand that, and we love that. Here at Homedale, we want our students to be involved and busy, but we also know it is hard to go to school, practice, have homework, FFA clubs, club meetings, church activities, and on top of that, try and have a social life. However, you must prioritize those things. You are responsible for your grades. You are responsible for your effort in both school and practice, and you are responsible for your attitude. Also, you are responsible in learning and playing by the rules of your sport, as well as any other team rules your coach sets. Student athletes are responsible for making correct choices. That includes being responsible for keeping in shape for their sport and not using or being involved with drugs or alcohol. Lastly, our student athletes must be positive. This includes being a positive sportsman and having good sportsmanship. Athletes will have good sportsmanship before, during, and after a competition. Athletes will not participate in negative hazing or initiation activities. This is not tolerated within our program. You will remember to represent yourself, your family, your team, and your school in a positive manner, both in person and on social media throughout this season. Parents, you're next. You are a part of this code as well. Parents, you are our biggest support system. We need and want you involved in our programs. Your number one responsibility as a parent is to be involved. We stress the importance of parents being involved in your child's athletic or extracurricular activities. Part of your responsibility of being involved is knowing your child's practice and game schedules, dates, and times in order to help them perform and grow to be their best by being where they need to be and on time. Next, parents need to be supportive. Understand that your child has a coach already, perhaps several of them. Parents should be supportive regardless of wins or losses and focus on the athlete. This includes providing a drug and alcohol-free environment for them at home, along with monitoring your athlete's diet. Now, parents, I have a disclaimer for you. In order to physically grow as an athlete, your athlete cannot have a diet of flaming hot Cheetos and Red Bull. It doesn't work. They do not grow as an athlete very well on that diet. I see convenience store snacks being used as a diet every day at school, and it just doesn't work. Please help in encouraging your athlete to eat right, to take care of their body. Their coaches would, I'm sure, be happy to assist in helping establish some healthy habits at home to kind of side with you on that. Also, please put the emotional and physical well-being of your child above any other aspect of the sport. Don't put additional pressure on them by showing that you are living through them. Make sure they are improving and growing and focus on that, not just wins and losses. Additionally, please support their coaches and anyone there working with your child. Our coaches work tirelessly to make sure their sport and games are fun and that each athlete is improving and prepared for competition. Please support them with your time and means if possible. If coaches ask for help in pregame meals, snacks, reffing, please volunteer your time to help that coach. We strive to have quality coaches here at Homedale High School that love the game and love their teams. However, that always means they have to take time away from their loved ones to coach your loved ones. Please support our coaches. Support both teams as well. Be supportive of all those participating in the games. Remember, these are young adults and children, with families supporting them as well. Be respectful of all skill levels, races, religions, sexes, anybody participating on the field or court. That is a huge part of your role in our code of conduct. Lastly, please communicate clearly. We have a very specific chain of command to follow if there's a problem. Parents should have athletes talk to coaches first before ever contacting the coach. That is a critical life lesson that we can instill to our young athletes. Work to solve problems on your own. If a meeting is needed, then it can be set up between parents and coaches. The AD is next in line to meet, then the building supervisor, and finally the superintendent if ever needed. Following the chain of command is a must and a great way to build on our expectations of our student athletes. Fans are the next ones as part of our code of conduct. Fans are what keep any athletic program in business. While at the interscholastic level, most are family related to the participants, there are still several from our community and the other team's community that will come every week to support their team. Fans are expected to act a certain way. Number one, our fans must be respectful. Within our code, we ask them to be respectful of all players, coaches, officials, and other spectators. Along with that, respect the game. Allow the coaches to coach and players to play. Unruly fan behavior and language can be a detriment to interscholastic sports. Please come to enjoy the game and the competition. Do not single any players or coaches out. Simple, be there to cheer on both sides in a positive and supportive manner. Support the well-being and development of the players and not just the outcome of the game. Second, we ask that spectators follow all rules. Follow the rules of sportsmanship presented by the school and state. These include refraining from behavior that is critical, distracting, or derogatory towards any opponents or officials. Fans should also refrain from foul, obscene, or abusive use of language or actions. We ask that you maintain control of your emotions and show sportsmanship at all games, regardless of the venues. Remember, this is a place where families can come to enjoy watching their athletes play. Please know that in order to keep a high standard of excellence at our events, the above-mentioned actions will have consequences, which we will touch on next. As in every code of conduct, when given the expectation of something, there also must be consequences when those expectations are not met. First, student athletes. Academics must come first. Grade checks will be pulled every 2 weeks. Those that do not meet the grade check standards will be put on probation. They will be able to practice and compete still, unless the grade does not come up by the next grade check. If on 2 consecutive grade checks you are failing a class, students will then be suspended for 1 week or 2 games. Our athletes are all expected to be students first and athletes seconds. Do study. Next, athletes must manage their time. Each coach has specific expectations in terms of being late to practice. That may include conditioning after practice or losing playing time. If it becomes a regular problem, the coach will meet with parents to look for a solution and go over the future of the student athlete competing on the team. We expect our student athletes to be good communicators. If a problem comes up that will make you late or miss practice, please inform your coach right away. Parents as well, please make sure that you understand. Do communicate, please. Since sportsmanship is a must in our code of conduct, any athlete showing poor sportsmanship before, during, or after games by any way of language, attitude, or actions, including social media, that student will be met with by the coach and athletic director, and consequences will follow. Do be a good sport, win or lose. Last, any abuse of drug or alcohol, any violations of that nature, will conclude in a suspension from the team. meeting with administration, and any additional legal obligations you'll have will have to be met before play and competing is continued. Do make good choices, including who your friends are and what you are putting into your body. For parents and fans, each case of breaking the code of conduct will be looked at by the athletic administration and school officials. Poor sportsmanship will not be tolerated, regardless of the venue and regardless of the situation. You will be given a verbal warning during games, followed by a written warning on a sportsmanship card, and then ultimately a suspension for one game or multiple games, depending on the action. Parents or fans that break this code of conduct may be suspended or banned from athletic competitions altogether. Please do not let that happen. Please follow our rules and our conduct and set a good example for our student athletes. Well, that wraps up our meeting. I know we're not King Arthur's Knights of the Round Table or cowboys in a movie, but we still need to follow a code to allow us to communicate clearly and grow as a program. This code of conduct serves as our standard of excellence to our athletic program, school, and our community. By following the tenets outlined in our code of conduct, we expect all coaches, athletes, parents, fans, everyone to uphold our vision and philosophy found in our school. We hold ourselves to high standards so that our athletic program from top to bottom can succeed in the classroom, the court, and in life. Thank you so much for your support of our athletic program and coming tonight. Please now, if you would, find the room where your fall sport pairing meeting is held and get ready to meet with your 2019 coaches. Go Trojans!